Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap for Thursday, April the 7th, 2016. My name is Doug McKay. I'm founder and head moderator of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we come together and take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, drill down to the trade levels that we're looking at, our targets for the day, and what our hypothesis is. This is a subscription room. I'll put up my contact information in just 1 second. Before I do, please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, so if you want to get a contact and get a hold of me and come in to check out the room, there's no website, there's no blog. It's just this live go-to every day, each morning, and then we do live trading during the course of the day and live analysis. Send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com or send me a Skype contact request at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. If you want to see more of these videos, just do a search for Quantum Leap Futures on YouTube. There's over 300 days of these pre-market sessions. You can get an idea of our track record. And then if you like what we do, follow me on Twitter at Crazy2. Okay, yesterday we were opening up after a real balanced day prior, and then we had a pre-balanced overnight session, and we were looking for some type of a breakout. My main hypothesis was a move down into the 32.75, between 34.25 and 32.75, finding responsive buying, and then coming back up through, and then on the news we were looking for a move up into that 71 area, with the 61.50 being the main target above the range. It was pretty muted in the beginning, and then we took off, and they just kept on going, and closed the day near the highs of the day. I didn't trade it very well. I got stuck in a short, and I had to work my way out of it. And then I finally did, but by the time I did, I missed most of this last. I got a little bit, but not much. Anyway, it is what it is. Wasn't my greatest trading day. Each morning, I like to start my day with a basic candlestick chart. 9 EMA, 20 SMA. I'm looking for slope and separation, and seeing where we are in the trend. You can see that we had this long trend on the monthly, and then we've been chopping around. January and February, we've violated the trend. Now, March and April, so far, we've held above the 9 and the 20. So, we've got a possibility of continuation. The weekly, we've got this strong parabolic move. We were watching this naked cross down here at 1983 area as a pullback. But right now we've got price paralleling the 9 quite nicely. Bit of a technical gap, but the trend is definitely up on the weekly. On the daily, you can see that we've got good slope and separation. A little bit of a challenge right here, but then they took it back yesterday, and now we're above the 9 and the 20, and we're getting continuation. On the 4-hour, it's an interesting scenario. We've got a head and shoulder setting up on the 4-hour. So you've got your left shoulder, your your head, your right shoulder. Neckline I'm putting in around the 34. I'm going to be using the 32.75 as my key line in the sand again today. But I'll be watching to see if this pattern plays out. It's a very good looking head and shoulder pattern. You can see on the 4-hour we're coming down and challenging the trend and getting a possibility of a start of a downward trend on that 4-hour. Going to the 1-hour, you can see that we do have the start of a downward trend. Not a lot of slope yet, but we've got separation. There is a naked cross up here at 20.55 on the 1 hour. We are trading below the 9 and the 20. A bit of a foobar, Mr. Sneaky, but they closed the gap on it already. Going to the 30-minute, you can see the 30-minute is stronger slope and separation to the downside, failing to get back above the 9. The 9 is sitting up here at 51. I'm watching the 52.73, 53 area. I'll show you why in just a couple minutes. And then going to the 15-minute, you can see we've had strong move down overnight, and now we're in this consolidation. They tried to violate the downward trend, failed, and now we're back below the 9 and the 20 and looking at possible continuation to the downside. And then last but not least, you've got the 5-minute where we've got this consolidation going on, and we're holding just on the 20 right now at 20.49. So taking a look at the big picture, again, just bringing it into context. We were in this value area, this balance zone from October through to the end of 2015, where we fell out of the value area on that January the 4th, and that value area low is down at 2008. More importantly, we've got the 2016 area, which is our key support level right now. It's the bottom of this Gaussian distribution, and the MCLVN between the double distribution in this balance zone. We fell out of that balance, and then we worked our way back. We found balance below, down here, and then when we broke out, we came up. First target was where the last place we tried to hold value. When we fell out of the balance at the 1978, 79 area, they came up, accepted, they accepted the value, then we gapped up, tested the microcomposite LVN and the value area low, accepted value at 675, came back up, hit the main target above, which was at 2034. Now we're inside of value, where we work our way through value and up into the microcomposite VPOC at 6350 and the composite VPOC going back to 2013. And we push up in the Globex up into the 69.75, top at 71.50, and then we fell back, came back down to that 40.50 level, which was the 9-day microcomposite VPOC, and then we blasted on the news yesterday and went right back up into 61, and overnight they drifted back down to this value area low here at the 2048. It made a low so far in the overnight session at I think 47. And we're currently trading 49.75. So what does this look like? We're inside of the trend day, repairing the auction here. We've got the 48.50, 48 value area low of this new microcomposite. I've included these 2 days into this microcomposite. The VPOC is up there at 57 still. It did not shift, but we found buyers down here at the 40 area, when we gapped down and then accepted value again at 40.50 and then took off. 48 is going to be a strong level for us today. Below that, look for them to come down into the 45.75 and test the lower side of that balance at 43.75. Below that, I'd be looking for a move back into this 40.50 area. And then my key line in the sand, again, is going to be down here at the lower side of this balance, and the range low at 32.75. Below there, I think we get a bigger move back down to the 25 and possibly down into the 19 and 17 area to test this microcomposite LVN at 16, and anything below key support at 16, a move down into the 2,675. If we can hold above the 43 and hold and stay inside of the value area above 48.50, then I think we're going to drift up into the 51 area, and then that 52.75, we have an LVN overnight at 53. And if we get above that LVN between the double distribution overnight, then I'm expecting to move up into 57 and back into this 61 and continuation. I think today is going to be a pause day, but we do have some news, so that could revalue the market very quickly. Didn't get much of a reaction this morning off of unemployment and Canadian building permits. Both were a beat. We were expecting 271 unemployment. We came in at 267, and then the building permits in Canada expected 4.7. It went to 15.5, and we got very little reaction. 10 o'clock, we've got ECB Draghi speaking, so that's going to be something that could move this market. And then later on, we've got natural gas, and then consumer credit at 3 o'clock, and then Yellen's going to speak at 5:30 tonight. So there could be some fireworks in the Globex session tomorrow, starting at 6 o'clock when we reopen, because she's going to be speaking when the market is going to be closed. So just be careful. And then George, FOMC George speaks too later on. So this could be a good Globex trading session for those that want to trade it. I definitely will be trading it myself. Okay, so taking a look at the overnight, you can see that we've got this double distribution. We just got a VPOC shift down to this 51. We're right back in this middle distribution. A lot of volume went off yesterday at 51 before the Fed announcement. We kind of just chopped around that 51. The VPOC shifted up there prior to the Fed announcement. The scene of the crime, the FOMC minutes when they came out, we were trading 52. So right now we've got, we're in this lower distribution. Our overnight high is up at 62. Now our daily ATR target, and again, we could put in a lower low, but currently off of the 47.25, our 20-day ATR is 2190. That puts us at a daily upside target of 2069. And off of the high overnight of 62, it gives us a downside ATR target of 2040. So we've got range capabilities to break above the range high that we put in the RTH session, but our daily downside ATR target is actually inside of yesterday's and right at that microcomposite VPOC of that 20, 40, 50. So right now, below us, I think you got to be watching this 48 level. I'm going to actually use the midpoint at 47.75. Below there, I'd be targeting that 45.75 to fund the trade just before this LVN, and then the value area low is at the 43.75. Let me just get these numbers over here. We can get rid of this chart. 2050 is our overnight VPOC. We have that LVN at 53. And that's about all I need from there. The upper distribution is the 2058 58.75, which is going to be right there, and basically just on the closing swing low there. So let's expand this out. So currently right now we're in this middle distribution. It's going to be hard to trade anything inside between this 47.75 and 53 because there's going to be a lot of chop in here, so just be careful. Below 47.45, then you've got the 43.75, but the value area low is 43.50. Now just keep in mind that value areas on trend days are weaker, so they're not going to give us as strength, because the whole concept of a trend day is the fact that you couldn't find value. So the value area low is there, but I put more weight on the composite LVN, and below that I'd be targeting this 40.50 area again and the year open, and then below that you've got the range low. Now the range low on the other day was 34. Yesterday was 35, so we're finding buyers in this 34, 35 area and 38 area the last 2 days. So I'm going to move my, I'm going to put another trade level here, because if we get below the 34, then I think we come down and test the 32.75, and then below 32.75, you got the 31.50 as a target. That's to get funded on the short. Come on. And then, but the main target below is between the 25 and the 27 area. And then below 22.75, it's going to be all about this 16 to 19 area. And then below that, a little bit of support at 12, but next big area and next support has to be down here at the 2006.75, and then you got 2000. Weekly ATR is still down here off of the week high at 2071.50. Our weekly ATR target to the downside is 98.25, and then our next key line in the sand is at 94. Below that, I'm looking for this 83 area, between 83 and 75. So to the top side, inside of the value, I'm looking for them to move our way back up into the scene of the crime at the 2052 and test this 53. If we do not find responsive sellers, then I would look to move up and grind our way up into that 60 area again. And then above the value area at 60.50, I'm going to use this 58 as another trade area, and it's just above the 57 microcomposite VPOC, which is at 57.75 right now, and a move up into the 60 and into this cluster up here. Above that, there's a little bit of resistance above at 63.50. That's still going to be a target. And then the next, if we're above here, I wouldn't try to short this up here. I would not try to short above the 63, because if we come up and accept 63.50, we're likely to go up and test that that 71, 72. We've been waiting for them to come up here and test that in the RTH. They did it in the Globex, but they didn't do it in the RTH, so we'd be looking for them to make that move the next time we get above range and above the 63.50. Our overnight high, did I not put it in? 62. So we got so much going on at the 62 area. So just a cluster of magnet. So my main hypothesis for the day is to chop on the open, move down into the 45 to 43 area, maybe even dip down to the 40 area, and then find buyers and move our way back up and chop around in between the 51 and the 60, possibly even dipping up into the 63. My secondary hypothesis is we chop around here, we move up into the 63 area, fail to get above the 66, and then can't come back down and work our way back down towards the 43 and 40-50 area. That's my secondary hypothesis. My third hypothesis is we have an inside day and we chop in inside of yesterday between the 58 and 43 and just repair the option. So that's what I'm looking at in terms of targets and levels. We're currently trading right now at the center line of the Keltner at 20.50 and a quarter. A move up to the upper line will take us up to 56. A move to the lower line will take us down to 44. We're going sideways right now and creating quite the zipper down here. I just want to take a look at this. Just take a quick look and see what the measured move on this zipper is if we fall below it. We'll see if it matches that head and shoulder target. Come on. So that's showing a move down into the 41.75, so that 40.50 area if they fall below this 47 and a quarter. It's kind of a weak low right now overnight. Does that match? What's the target on the head and shoulder? The head and shoulder target is, much bigger, 2015. There's your test to the 2016 level. So let's pay attention when they get down into below. And again, you could use the 34 area, but I think you're smarter off to use the 32.75 and make sure you've got a good breakout. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.